Good afternoon and welcome inside the Cavelli Sports Complex here on the campus of Youngstown State University, as it is a cold and windy day here today as Youngstown State and Kent State are ready to kick off Mid-American Conference play here on this Sunday. Anthony Romo, John Ostapowitz on the call here today. John, it's kind of a tale of two different tapes. Youngstown State still looking for their first win of the season. Kent State looking to build off of a convincing win over St. Francis on Wednesday. The Golden Flash is coming in today with a lot of momentum.
Yeah, Romo, and for Youngstown State, again, they're still looking for their first win, but for both teams, they have had a tough opponents on that schedule, and Kent State having one of the toughest schedules as well. And when you look at the opponents they have faced, they are a combined 35-14 overall, and really opponents that stand out is Delaware and Lindenwood, who are 7-1 overall. But again, for both of these teams, they're very thankful here this afternoon that they get to begin conference play, get out of unfamiliar territory, and play teams that they have played against over the last few years.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I guess in every conference in America, conference play is the most important part of the season, but especially here in these mid-major one big leagues like the Mid-American Conference, this is a conference where there are 7 teams in the conference, but only the top 4 qualify for the conference tournament. So these games matter oh so much, and both teams are going to come out today and look to get started with their conference records on the right end. We mentioned Youngstown State still looking for their first win of the season. The Penguins 0-7 coming in today, while Kent State is 3-6.
Yeah, and for Youngstown State, especially that loss to the Revolutionaries, and it started really in the second, third, and fourth quarters. They controlled the amount of goals that they had. It was 5-2 margin, and then unfortunately the Revolutionaries' offensive attack kind of heated up a little bit. But for Kent State, they were able to get a well-deserved win over St. Francis University, 18-12. There's been a lot of different goal scoring for Kent State.
Tyler Smith for Youngstown State and Sydney Deering for Kent State on our opening draw of today's matchup. Sun peeking out of the clouds here in Youngstown, and we are underway. Mid-American Conference play now underway here from Youngstown. And it was a scrum, but the opening draw will be controlled by the Kent State Golden Flashes. And let's meet today's starters. First for the Golden Flashes, we mentioned Sydney Deering. She was at midfield for the opening draw. Lily Miller, Cameron Meek, Anna Gellen, Zeta Crumpton, Delaney Nip, Megan Haddo, Jackie Wolford, Megan Cook, Peyton Gellen, Riley Floyd, and in goal, a freshman, Sydney Davis. Golden Flashes, they have the ability to put a lot of goals up on the board. Of course, we talked about Jackie Wolford. She is currently the top goal scorer in the MAC coming into today. Last season, her and her teammate, Kenzie Scalar, both tied and set a new Mid-American Conference single-season goals record with 69 each. That record was previously held by Natalie Calandra-Ryan, who formerly played for Youngstown State.
And Romo, to have one player score 69 goals is an insane feat, but two just really credits how well this program has really blossomed over the past few years.
Yeah, Wolford coming into today, 30 goals, which ranks first in the MAC. Nice possession defensively by the Penguins, and they force a turnover to open up the afternoon. That was Haddo who lost her footing, and here come the Penguins the other direction. They have numbers. Working around the goal. Garrett shot, and she finds the back of the net. Allie Garrett off balance. Puts the Penguins on the board first. Just over a minute and a half into the first quarter, as we take another look at this one, John. If you're Youngstown State, you can't ask for a much better start.
And you cannot. She went down in the fourth quarter against the Revolutionaries, unfortunately, but now she comes in. She was pushed down by Kent State just a little bit, and she still got that shot off to get the Penguins up offensively 1-0. And again, a great offensive play by Allie Garrett. She's been doing that all season long for this Penguins offense.
Allie Garrett, her 8th goal of the season. Now make it 7 consecutive games that Garrett has scored at least 1 goal for Youngstown State. Back to midfield for our second draw of the afternoon. We mentioned on the first draw, sun peeking out. It was actually snowing for a few minutes pregame. Very chilly, blustery day here in Youngstown. Players going to have to overcome the conditions. But at least we had the sun peeking out for a few minutes as Deering is going to come down with that draw control.
And here in Youngstown, we've seen a lot of different conditions. Last game, it was sun, and the game before that, it was torrential downpour with a lot of rain, and that's what it is to play outside.
That's in the last, 7, 8 days. You covered softball on Tuesday, John. It was about 67 degrees.
Yes, it was.
Going to experience all the seasons in a span of 7 days. Kent State with their second possession here, and coming into today's matchup, I thought that could be a tough part for Kent State to overcome, and that's been tough in some games this season where Youngstown State could take advantage. The Golden Flashes, 130 turnovers this season compared to just 95 for their opponents. So if the Penguins can play good defense each and every possession, make Kent State try to force it in some positions they don't want to, that could really help Youngstown State defensively.
Well, Roma, the same can be said for the Penguins as well. They have 118 turnovers on the season with only 43 caused. So, again, whoever has the less turnovers is going to be the winner.
A nice goal right there to tie this one up. A good possession by Kent State all the way around, and it ends with a goal. Who else but Jackie Wolford finding the back of the net? We'll take another look right here. Wolford defended by 2 Penguins, but she got good leverage, got a good angle, and she put it past the stick of Paige Borkowski.
And that's what makes Wolford so special. She's able to really get past any defender in any position, be able to get any shot off that she needs to be able to get her team on the board. And there it is. Found an opportunity and made a play.
So all tied up at 1, 12-13 remaining in our opening quarter. Let's meet the starters now for Youngstown State. Mentioned freshman Paige Borkowski making her 8th start of the season in goal. And then in the field, number 4, Lena Cox. Number 10, Katie Grotenthaler. Danny Emler, Jocelyn Fike, Kayla Stecker. We mentioned Allie Garrett. She had the opening goal of today's action. Caitlin DiNardo, Mia Stahl, Tyler Smith, Emma Hoffman, and Grace Manser. Mentioned Tyler Smith has been on our draws. This is Smith's first appearance of the season for Youngstown State, and she's able to get that start here. We'll see if she can put a jolt into Youngstown State as the season goes on. Emler has it. We have a couple different starters today for Youngstown State. Danny Emler getting the start, her first start of her collegiate career. Caitlin DiNardo's making her second start of the season today. So Coach Rob Hare is trying to switch his scheme up a little bit as conference play is now upon us.
And again, trying to see what works. You've already, had a lot of good offensive looks, and they're trying to put different players in to see what really works here, especially with conference play really start in full swing.
Ava Kreutzer spinning through the defense. Her shot bounces over the goal. Kent State gets an empty possession for YSU. Kreutzer, that's someone that Youngstown State should have to look at to step up here today. She was one of the top goal scorers coming into last game, but George Washington was able to keep her scoreless. Kreutzer, one of those freshmen that's one of the many freshmen starting for Youngstown State in the field this season. The Penguins almost had a complete roster turnover from last season. So many good players in the Mid-American Conference that are now at different schools. The Penguins are in a little bit of a rebuilding phase, but they have a lot of talent as Kent State adds another goal to their total. They'll take their first lead of the day. Zeta Crumpton getting past the defense, and she'll give the Golden Flashes a 2-1 lead.
And Crumpton able to get her 20th goal of the season. And again, it just shows you a testament to this Kent State offense that everyone can get involved. 11 different goal scorers on the season. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that for the Golden Flashes.
Yeah, Zeta Crumpton and Jackie Wolford have made themselves arguably the best 1-2 punch in the conference early on in the season. Wolford 31 goals now. Crumpton has 20. And those same two players lead the team in assists as Crumpton has 10 and Wolford had 8 coming into today. So they do a great job feeding off each other and getting each other the ball. And that's one of the reasons that Kent State can be very dangerous this year in the Mid-American Conference. Another draw. This one will be controlled by Kent State. One off the stick of Youngstown State's Mia Stahl last. One out of play. This is one of those days, John, where I know I'm very lucky to be here in the warm press box today and not being out in the cold, blustery wind.
Same with the fans, I'm sure. You can see them all bundled up because, again, any forecast that comes over here in Youngstown, they're going to be prepared for it, especially with a lot of sports going on here on the campus of Youngstown State University.
Penguins getting possession back after that turnover by Cameron Meek of Kent State. Jocelyn Fike bringing it over the midfield line. She'll pass it off to Jenna Cook. Youngstown State wearing the home whites today. Red numbers outlined in black. Kent State wearing the road baby blue uniforms here today. Navy blue numbers outlined in gold. Under 10 minutes to go here in our opening quarter. Zeta Crumpton and Jackie Wolford responsible for the 2 Kent State goals. Allie Garrett has netted the lone goal for Youngstown State so far today. Jenna Cook, another freshman with it for the Penguins. YSU coming off a very tough loss against George Washington earlier this week. It was a game where the Penguins led early, then trailed all the way to the fourth quarter, 11-8, but they netted 3 consecutive goals as Kreutzer drives in her shot into the net. What a goal by Ava Kreutzer. Very tough angle, but she sneaks it over the stick of Sydney Davis. I'd love to take another look at this one because Kreutzer just bent that one right in the top crossbar. Tough angle.
And Romo, you said it really, again, the Kent State defense not allowing any easy shots, but for this Penguins offense, they've been getting a lot of hard contested shots off. And again, Ava Kreutzer, you talked about her, was silent against the Revolutionaries, able to get on the board here for the Penguins.
That'll take us to a break. All tied up at 2. 9:05 remains in our first period of play. Conference opener and Mid-American Conference play.
Thanks everyone, especially Vicky. She's been with us since the beginning and saved us enough on our insurance to help us open our second location.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Champion Insurance of Austintown in Austintown if auto owners make sense for you.
Who are you talking to anyway?
It's a commercial.
Good one.
Yeah. Nice. Beautiful. Nice job, Ella.
You hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why.
Welcome back inside the Covelli Sports Complex. Just under halfway through our first quarter, 9 minutes remaining here in the conference opener between Youngstown State and Kent State, all tied up at 2. Ava Kreutzer with a goal for Youngstown State that snuck right under the crossbar and past the stick of Sydney Davis to tie this game up at 2. Kent State now will look for an answer. Zeta Crumpton and Jackie Wolford have netted the 2 goals for the Golden Flashes early on. We are back at midfield and ready to get things back underway. Anthony Romo, John Ostapowitz on the call here today. Youngstown State controls the draw. Tyler Smith with her first draw control of the season, but she quickly will turn it over and give it right back to Kent State.
Romo, we've talked about the turnovers. They're going to play a crucial role in this game.
We're going to have a green card given to the Penguins. This one given to Emma Hoffman, so she'll have to sit out for 1 minute. Hoffman, a midfielder for Youngstown State. Those are really one of the parts of your team besides your defense that you do not want to have to sit out because Kent State will now be playing a woman up for the next minute.
And, well, that's what's so special about midfielders as well. They're able to play defense if possible. So, again, you lose a crucial part of your defense and offense, really, with 1 green card.
So the Golden Flashes now playing a woman up, as we'd mentioned. Before Youngstown State's goal was scored, we mentioned the Penguins coming off a tough 14-11 loss against George Washington on Wednesday. That was a game where Youngstown State had a really strong first quarter, jumped out to a 5-2 lead, but then George Washington answered with a 7-3 second quarter in their advantage to give themselves a lead heading into the half. They held an 11-8 lead from about halfway through the third quarter all the way until the fourth quarter when Youngstown State scored 3 consecutive goals to tie it up at 11, but then 3 George Washington goals in the final 4 minutes put the nail in the coffin. So the Penguins still searching for that first win of the season. Golden Flashes working very close to the Youngstown State net, looking to reclaim the lead. In the stick of Zeta Crumpton. She'll pass it across. Over to Bond. Kent State very close together, passing around the perimeter. 50 seconds remain on the shot clock. Youngstown State's been holding strong defensively. Been able to collapse whenever Kent State gets close to the net. Weaving through the defense, though, and finding the back of the net for another Kent State goal is Morgan Halley, and the Golden Flashes will reclaim the lead at 3-2.
For Youngstown State, the defense, again, you can see right here, just a nice drive by the Golden Flashes. And again, the defense just broke down for the Penguins. And we've seen a lot this season where, especially when that perimeter really starts to guard and then it just breaks down on those easy fast break opportunities.
So Morgan Halley netting the third goal of the first quarter for Kent State. And we continue to go back and forth. Early on here today, Halley's 7th goal of the season. She's coming off a very good performance against St. Francis the last time out. Halley with a hat trick, 3 goals in that ball game, which was a season high. The Golden Flashes, another possession here. They're going to look to add some cushion to this lead. We mentioned in the open, John, this Kent State team, they can strike and they can strike quickly.
Very veteran team as well when you look at them. 5 juniors, 5 seniors, 2 graduate students. And again, this is a team that has a lot of veteran players, especially last year being one of their best seasons. They have a lot of experience on the offensive and defensive end. And again, they're going to be a tough team in conference this year.
Yeah, this is the first time in 2 seasons that these teams have met here at the Covelli Sports Complex. They met once last year in the regular season finale. That game was at Dick's Stadium at Kent State. Morgan Halley has it once again. She just scored the last goal for the Golden Flashes. Gets the defender away from her, but Youngstown State still trying to keep her as far away as possible from the cage. 29 seconds remain on the shot clock for Kent State. 6 minutes, 43 seconds remain in the first quarter. 3-2 is our score. Riley Floyd has it, working behind the net. Penguins still defending strong. Floyd gets around the defender, passes to the cutting teammate, and another goal for Kent State. They now have the Penguins doubled up after Zeta Crumpton scores her 2nd goal of the first quarter.
And Romo, it's going to be tough, and you can see right here the defense was really working on Crumpton, but really just lost her. Really just fast break. You saw the assist as well by Riley Floyd, and just great field vision by the Golden Flashes have really prevailed them here. And again, that's why they're up 4-2. They've done a great job. But this Penguins defense trying to get things together here early on.
And that's something that can make Kent State really dangerous, is the fact that they have a lot of players that can not only pass the ball fluently, but they can cradle the ball and make sure the defender can't poke it loose. So you're going to have long possessions like that where they're going to work it behind the net, try to make the defense get off balance, and then just like that, snap of a thumb, they can attack, find an open teammate, and find the back of the net. Crumpton, her 2nd goal of the day and her 21st of the season. Back underway. Another draw control advantage goes to Kent State. That's their 5th draw control here of the opening quarter. Youngstown State scored the first goal of the day by Allie Garrett, but ever since then, Kent State has outscored the Penguins 4-1. They've scored the last 2 goals after the Penguins tied it up at 2 on an Ava Kreutzer goal. Zeta Crumpton, the lone player so far today with multiple goals on either side.
And Roma, for Kent State, you can see how they are utilizing the cuts. A lot of Kent State players are looking for any opportunity to try and lead pass, and that's where a lot of their scoring has come here early on.
Hallie with it. She'll hand it off. Weaving around the defender. The shot and a third goal for Zeta Crumpton. Her third here of the first quarter, and that'll make it 5-2 Kent State. We'll take another look at this one. This one bounced right before the stick of Borkowski, but went right past her and into the top left corner of the net. Back-to-back games now where Kent State has a player who has a first quarter hat trick. Last game it was Peyton Gellen. Today it's Zeta Crumpton.
And again, that is what's so special about Kent State. Every game they have a different player getting involved, and that's what's so great. It doesn't matter who it is. They're able to get in there and get a hat trick. Again, hats off to this Kent State offense.
Crumpton, a reigning Mid-American Conference second-team nominee a year ago. She's only a sophomore from Hershey, Pennsylvania, from Chocolate Town. You ever been to Hershey, John?
I have not. I've always wanted to be there, but
I've never been there either.
Yeah, need to make a trip down.
We have to. Crumpton's highest goal total this season was 6 goals. That came against Longwood a few weeks ago. She had scored 2 goals in each of the last 2 games, but she's finally back to that hat trick territory. This is now the 4th time this season that Zeta Crumpton has scored at least 3 goals. 5-2, Golden Flashes on top. Another draw control. And it's been an avalanche here in the first quarter. Another easy look and another goal. And the onslaught continues for Kent State here in our opening quarter. That is now 4 consecutive goals. That'll make it 6-2 on this easy look right here. And the goal was scored by Peyton Gellen.
And again, Kent State putting on a clinic here early on, especially in this first quarter. And it's been this Youngstown State defense that has led up a lot of easy looks for this Kent State offense. And, you know, you got to give this offense for Kent State a lot of credit. They have found a lot of open looks. But, again, they're utilizing those cuts and the assists because, again, you can't guard everyone at one time.
I mean, it all starts with the draw controls, John. Kent State's leading that category 6-2 early on. You look at the scoreboard, it says the same exact thing. This Golden Flashes team you mentioned earlier, John, a year ago won a share of the Mid-American Conference regular season title. Were unable to get a win in the conference semis as they fell to Central Michigan, but they return a lot of firepower from last season's team. You have to replace one of the top scorers in the history of this conference, but they have a lot of experience and they're picking up right where they left off a year ago, looking for another strong conference turnout.
Roman, you're absolutely right, but you talk about the draw controls a little bit, and it feels really refreshing for Kent State. Again, their opponents have been winning the draw controls 133-118, so again, in this game, for them to be able to control that margin is really a key to success for them.
Yeah, and I mean, Zeta Crumpton's controlling every part of the stat sheet here today. 3 goals, which leads all players. 3 draw controls, which leads all players. She's a perfect 3 for 3 on her shots, finding the back of the net. Crumpton came in today leading the Golden Flashes with 37 draw control. She's now up to 40. We can take a look here at this shot. You can just see how hard the wind's blowing. You can see the flag is just whipping in the wind here today.
And again, that makes, playing conditions really tough for both teams. Because, again, you have to adjust to that, especially with your stick being able to get off on an angle and not allowing that to curve. Because, again, mentally, you can get that shot on goal, but that wind just really taking that ball and taking it off target is going to be the challenge.
Head coaches for today, Brienne Tierney of Kent State in her 6th season at the helm with the Golden Flashes. Youngstown State led by first-year head coach and Rob Harris. Coach Harris, the 4th head coach in the last 3 seasons for Youngstown State. Timeout is complete. Both teams back out onto the field, and we are ready to get things underway once again. Kent State has really been able to handle the draw controls as of late, and they're going to look to continue to do that coming out of the timeout. Deering for Kent State, and Shear for Youngstown State on the draw, which is controlled once again by the Golden Flashes. And that one was controlled by Sydney Deering.
And Deering really getting active, especially for Kent State. Winning those draws is going to be a crucial part.
Golden Flash is looking to attack once again. They've scored the last 4 goals ever since Youngstown State tied it up at 2 a few minutes ago. Zeta Crumpton, 3 first quarter goals for the Golden Flashes. Four minutes, 20 seconds remain here in our opening quarter.
Romo, you can see how fast Kent State is. It doesn't matter who it is. They're really able to utilize that speed, whether putting spin moves or fast breaks.
Most definitely. Megan Cook has it for Kent State. Waiting for teammate to get open. She passes it off. 30 seconds remain on the shot clock. Crumpton has it. She'll pass it off. Youngstown State standing tall defensively on this possession. They've just had a few defensive lapses, which have given up some easy shots. 16 seconds now on the shot clock.
If they make a stand here, that would be really good positively for the Penguins. They'd be out and able to get a goal for them, maybe. But again, great defensive stop. A lot of players there to try and contest.
Most definitely. It's going to be a shot clock violation. Youngstown State's offense will finally get it back. I want to say it's been upwards of 4 or 5 minutes since the Penguins have last had offensive possession.
Well, Kent State, they're doing a great job of really controlling the time of possession, and that's what they've done a lot this season. You haven't seen a lot of blowouts, except, you know, from Ohio State and George Mason teams that have, you know, tremendous records. But again, they've done a great job against those teams.
Penguins working right down the middle of the field. Pass over to Kreutzer. Couldn't find it for a second, but she's able to get it back. Ava Kreutzer and Allie Garrett responsible for the 2 Youngstown State goals here in our opening quarter. And you were talking about the schedules of opponents for Kent State. There are some common opponents. Both teams faced off against Cincinnati. Both teams faced off against Longwood. Kent State was able to beat Longwood a few weeks ago, a team that came here to the Covelli Sports Complex and beat Youngstown State last Saturday. A shot by Grotenthaler's off the mark. Grotenthaler, excuse me. Penguins will retain possession.
Romo, you talk about that Longwood game. That was a close one, especially with Kent State, 13-12. That was a game that was really tightly contested all the way down to the final seconds.
A player hit the deck for the Penguins. That was Katie Grotenthaler, able to get back to her feet. It's going to set up our first free position opportunity of the afternoon. This one for the Penguins. Grotenthaler, another freshman on this season's team. She has 7 goals so far this season. We'll see if she can chip into this deficit right here. Working from the right side of the net. Grotenthaler drives in. The shot saved by the keeper. Ball still in the air, though. We'll see who will keep it. Youngstown State will get possession back. Allie Garrett has it, but she turns it over. Nice job defensively by Kent State. And here comes Lily Miller right down the middle of the field.
Trying to find a defender to try and stop her. A lot of fast opportunity. You see how quick they are going in the fast breaks for Kent State.
Miller's shot saved by Borkowski, but the Golden Flashes will get it back. Lily Miller taking advantage of that turnover. She said, hey, I might not get too many opportunities here today, right here. So she went right down the middle of the field. It was a good look, but Borkowski was able to hit it off her stick. Deflected off her stick. Golden Flashes still have it, though.
Well, you go back to that play as well. Miller was really just able to come out and cause the turnover, hit the stick of Allie Garrett, and took it away. I mean, that's what Kent State does. They make a lot of great plays and causing turnovers. And again, that's going to be what it comes down to.
Another shot and another goal for the Golden Flashes. Peyton Gellen, her 2nd goal of the first quarter. She has been red hot in first quarters as of late. Had 3 first quarter goals against St. Francis. And she has 2 first quarter goals here today while being pushed to the ground by a defender. That'll make it 7-2 Kent State. And not only the first quarter dominance continues for Gellen, but the first half dominance continues for Kent State, John. They scored 6 goals in both the first and second quarters last time out, and they have 7 first quarter goals here today.
Yeah, and for Gellen, that is her 11th goal of the season, and already you've seen a lot of different players for Kent State getting involved here already in just the first quarter.
It's been a tough go of things early on this season for Coach Rob Harris and Youngstown State. Penguins 0-7 coming into today. Had kind of a fresh outlook with conference play starting today, but you're still going to have these growing pains. A lot of players are freshmen on the field for the Penguins, but you can see the talent there. I think this Youngstown State team, if they can stay together, we've seen pops of talent that can make them a dangerous team down the line once they gain that experience.
It's all about coaching and developing as well, being able to take a young team and translate their talents in their sophomore year, and that's what's so special about a great coach.
We've seen the Penguins doing a lot of substituting. We saw some different starters earlier on today, and we see some different players on the field for Youngstown State. Some players that have that hunger. Golden Flash with another possession, though. Another shot. That one's off the post, and the Penguins will come up with it. Good for YSU to get an empty possession out of Kent State. They haven't had too many of those here in our opening quarter. Long pass up the field. YSU will get it across midfield. 5 consecutive goals here from Kent State to end our opening quarter. The Penguins don't get a shot off. That'll take us to our second quarter of action. Kent State on top, 7-2. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have more Mid-American Conference lacrosse here on the Youngstown State Penguins YouTube page.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing.
Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Siebert Keck Insurance in Youngstown if auto owners make sense for you.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Mercy Health, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Mercy Health, primary care for the universe of you. Visit mercy.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
You hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why.
Welcome back inside the Covelli Sports Complex. A dominant first 15 minutes for the Kent State Golden Flashes as they lead 7-2 over the Youngstown State Penguins, with second quarter action right on our heels. Anthony Romo, John Ostapwitz back on the call. John, it was the Zeta Crumpton show for Kent State. 3 goals, 4 draw controls. She was definitely the player to look out for in our first 15 minutes.
And she's going to be the player to look out for a lot more here in this game. Again, still early, just the second quarter, and she really has been that bright spot for this Kent State team. She's really been doing it all in all categories.
As we take a look at some of our first quarter highlights, the Golden Flashers were able to execute quickly. Penguins scored the opening goal, and they had it tied at 2 about halfway through our opening quarter, but Kent State ended the first quarter with 5 consecutive goals, due in large part to the draw controls. The Golden Flashes have 8, Youngstown State has 2. We had about a 5-6 minute stretch where the Penguins did not touch the ball offensively. It was all Kent State, and that has helped them jump out to this early 7-2 advantage.
And you got to give the Kent State offense credit as well, being able to control the time of possession. They have looked really dominant in that category, being able to keep it away from the Penguins and limit their opportunity to make plays on the offensive end.
Both teams back out at midfield. We're just about ready to get things going here today. Draw still rolling on the field. And goes out of play, and the control will go to Youngstown State. I don't even think the players know. Okay. Yep, draw control will go to Youngstown State. I was going to say I thought it went the way of the Penguins, but no one was moving. Emily Wilson has it for Youngstown State. Wilson defended heavily. She'll give it away.
Gellen had it last. You saw on this end of the field that there was a lot of players involved. And again, they were just trying to sort it out and see who last touched it and played it off of that.
We mentioned Zeta Crumpton, 3 first-quarter goals. Kent State also had 2 goals from Peyton Gellen, 1 from Jackie Wolford. They had another goal from Morgan Halley. Youngstown State's 2 goals scored by Allie Garrett and Ava Kreutzer. Penguins with possession, looking to end this scoring drought. Brooke Peck has it. Looking for the open teammate. She'll give it off to Lena Cox. Cox, leading goal scorer for Youngstown State so far this season, loses her footing, shoots from the seat of her pants, but that shot was saved by Sydney Davis. Tough way to end what was looking like a pretty solid possession for Youngstown State, moving the ball around. But Cox just lost her footing backing inside, and Kent State will take advantage from it.
Well, Roman, you got to give credit to Peyton Gellen, who was there the whole way, really not allowing anybody. You saw her tightly contested in the defense. She did a great job to really force, Cox to really fall down there, and then taking advantage of it, and Kent State able to take it back.
Golden Flashes working with it on the far side of the field, driving inside now. Looking to add on to this lead. Gellen has it. She'll pass it inside. Pass was off the mark. Taken away by Youngstown State. Grace Manser has it for the Penguins. She'll pass it off. Penguins some risky passing here in the first half. But they're able to complete them. We've seen some long passes. This one's to Jenna Cook. She gets it across midfield now for Youngstown State.
And Romo, that's okay if they're long as long as they're completed as well. And that's really the way you're able to beat Kent State, long passes, because again, you can really get upfield very quickly that way.
Just over 12 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in our first half. Kent State's been playing well defensively. Peck has it for the Penguins, working behind the net, under 40 seconds on the shot clock. Jenna Cook now has it. The shot, wide, but Youngstown State will retain possession. Allie Garrett has it, working behind the net. She scored our opening goal of today's action about a minute and a half into the first quarter, and she gets her second goal right there. Garrett using the length of the stick, getting it over the goalkeeper in Sydney Davis. That'll put an end to the Youngstown State scoring drought as we take another look at this goal right here by Garrett.
And again, for Garrett, a nice move as well to get the Penguins on the board after really having a tough time offensively. And it's key plays like that. Allie Garrett has been there the whole way this season, being able to fit goals in there. Any opportunity she has, if she's open, she's going to make them.
Most definitely, Allie Garrett. You mentioned earlier in the broadcast, John, we saw her go down in the final minutes last time out against George Washington. She went down when the game was tied at 11 with about 4.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And when she went out, George Washington took a big advantage from that. That's when they scored those final 3 goals with Garrett out of the game. Of course, as a team sport, a lot of players on the field, you don't want to put it all on one person, but you got to think, if Youngstown State still had Allie Garrett on that field, would they have been able to get that victory? But they're very lucky to have her back here today, as she has already netted 2 goals.
Well, you can see how much of an impact she makes for this Penguins offense. She was here last year. We talked about the turnover, and she's able to now lead this team. Although she's a sophomore, she acts like she's a senior.
Most definitely. 7-3 is our score. We're going to have a foul called on the Penguins. This will set up Kent State a little bit farther out from what would be a free position. Nope, it is a free position look. First of the day, believe it or not, for Kent State. Youngstown State took a free position shot earlier, and they were unable to score off of it. That one is passed back. Still a lot of time on the shot clock, 74 seconds. As the Golden Flashes will look to extend this lead. Crumpton has it, she passes it off. Good look, and another goal. Goal number 8 here in the first half for Kent State. Jackie Wolford nets her second goal of the afternoon, and the lead is now back up to 5 for the Golden Flashes. We take another look right here. Wolford, untouched, moving inside. She had a really good one-on-one opportunity, and she capitalized.
Romo, we talked about the 1-2 punch. It's really been Zeta Crumpton, the assist by her to Wolford, and again, just those two being such a dominant force for this offense just really shows how well they work together, and it's a bond, especially when you're a team, and you can see how well of a well-oiled machine they really are on offense.
We mentioned a little bit prior, back to that 18-12 victory for the Golden Flashes against St. Francis on Wednesday. They jumped out to a 12-3 halftime lead, courtesy of 6 goals in each the first and the second quarters. They control another draw right there, and they're going to have another opportunity to extend this lead. Sydney Deering's done a great job in that mid-circle for the Golden Flashes today. It's been a pretty clean game so far. We've only seen 1 card given out. There was a green card to Youngstown State. Shot off the mark. And the ball is scooped up by Grace Rund of the Penguins. Rund's running down the far side of the field.
And Rund has done a great job for this Penguins offense as well, finding a lot of different open opportunities, especially for her. And she has really done it all, especially when defenses double team another player. She can find open opportunities.
YSU will look to chip back into this deficit once again. Ball in the stick of Aaron Lowry. Couldn't pick it up cleanly. A foul on Kent State will keep possession with Youngstown State. Lowry will keep it. She'll pass it off now to Lena Cox. We saw Cox have 1 shot earlier on today, but she lost her footing and wasn't able to get much power on the shot. 38 seconds on the shot clock, driving inside. The shot and the goal for Youngstown State. This one scored by Grace Rund, her first of the day, and now the lead is 8-4 as we take another look at this Rund shot and goal.
Well, Romo, we talked about her run. When she gets involved, she's a crucial part of this offense. Now goal number 10 for her on the season, freshman from Rochester, New York. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, especially being able to cut into this deficit.
That'll take us to immediate timeout. Kent State doubling up Youngstown State 8-4 with 9 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in our second quarter.
Thanks everyone, especially Vicky. She's been with us since the beginning and saved us enough on our insurance to help us open our second location.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Champion Insurance of Austintown in Austintown if auto owners make sense for you.
Who are you talking to anyway?
It's a commercial.
Good one.
Yeah. Nice. Beautiful. Nice job, Ella.
You hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why.
Welcome back. Second quarter action here in this Mid-American Conference opener between Youngstown State and Kent State. Anthony Romo, John Ostopowitz on the call. The Golden Flashes on top 8-4 here with 9 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in our second quarter of play. It's been a good start in goal for Kent State. Sydney Davis, 3 saves. Paige Borkowski has 2 for Youngstown State. 2 freshmen in the goal here today starting. John, you know, we were talking about in the pregame, Kent State, they've kind of cycled through some goalkeepers throughout the season. They're still trying to figure out Of course, Sydney's having a good opportunity here today, but if there's a game where it starts to get away from the Golden Flashes, they have other opportunities to look at.
Yeah, Romo, and that's a good thing as well. You saw it last year. Again, the 3 cycle of goalies is really what Kent State has utilized. Now Sydney Davis making her 2nd career start here, as well as she has played in 6 games now to this point.
Youngstown State with possession coming out of the media timeout. The control is given to YSU. And they're going to quickly push it deep into Kent State territory. Losing it for a second was Stahl, but she's able to keep it for the Penguins. Kent State almost forced that turnover.
And a nice job. It doesn't matter if you lose it or not. Scoop it up and keep it going. I mean, that's how the Penguins are. They lose it, they try and find it, and they'll stay stout, try and get an offensive opportunity.
Ava Kreutzer with it for YSU. She'll pass it off to Erin Lowry. Lowry making her first appearance since March 4th against Stetson here today. Lowry has it. Driving on the right side. She'll work it now behind the net. Penguins looking to chip into this deficit. Nice job spinning off the defender. And Erin Lowry finds the back of the net for Youngstown State. Her first goal of the season, and this one deserves another look.
Yeah, Romo, you look at it, and again, just working on Gellen and able to beat her really down the line. And you got to give her credit. She did such a great job of finding the inside of the cage and really just fit it in there. Lowry, you got to give her credit. Phenomenal job.
Lowry, a senior, one of the few players still with the program that was here in the opening season. Teammates celebrating with her because that was her first career goal in her senior season here at Youngstown State. Could that be the jolt that the Penguins needed to start battling back into this game? The deficit now down to 3. Our score is now 8-5.
And again, it's just this Penguins offense, they're getting everyone involved now, especially 12 goal scorers now for the Penguins. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are, they're going to get you involved. And if you have an open shot, take it.
YSU winning the second quarter right now 3-1 after Kent State led 7-2 after the opening quarter. Draw was controlled by the Golden Flashes. Now moving into Youngstown State territory. They'll look to add on this lead. 8 minutes remaining here in our second quarter. Trying to find the open teammate. We're going to have a whistle blown on the pass. I believe that's going to be a foul called on Youngstown State. And it will be. So the Golden Flashes with it. Ball's passed over to Emily Bond. Bond's working on the right side. Kent State 3-6 on the season coming into today. Youngstown State 0-7. Mid-American Conference opener for both teams here today. The shot, saved by Borkowski, second opportunity, and there's a goal for Kent State. Nice wherewithal from Jackie Wolford, right place, right time. Ball bounced off the stick of Borkowski, right to her, and she found the back of the net. We'll take another look right here. Wolford finding the loose ball, and she'll put it in the back of the cage. Jackie Wolford, now her 3rd goal of the first half. Second Golden Flash as their teammate, Zeta Crumpton, also 3 goals so far today.
Romo, again, we've been seeing a lot of offensive scoring by Kent State, but again, the defensive breakdown by Grants Manser really led Kent State to get that opportunity. But again, you got to give credit to Jackie Wolford, who made a great play on the right side of the cage to really fit that one in there.
33rd goal of the season for Jackie Wolford. Now the 8th consecutive game that Wolford has had at least a hat trick with 3 goals. Season high has been 5 goals. She scored that 3 times this season.
Well, Roma, you look at Wolford's resume, and it runs deep. MAC Offensive Player of the Year last year, All-MAC first team, and her 2021 season Freshman of the Year. I mean, just a really stout performance she has put on at Kent State University to go along with 167 career goals. Add a little bit more, that's 170 now on the season. Or career, excuse me.
Nice look right off of the draw control by Zeta Crumpton. That shot was off the mark. Yeah, Wolford, a 3-time All-Mid-American Conference selection, first team All-MAC in each of the last 2 seasons. Another good look, the shot off balance. That one find the back of the net? It did. Another goal for Kent State. They'll add on to this lead now. They have doubled up the Penguins once again, 10-5. 2 quick goals. This one scored by Emily Bond, spinning off the defender, loses her balance, and puts it right off the crossbar and into the back of the goal. Past the stick of Borkowski. That'll make it double-digit goals now for Kent State here in our opening half.
And again, Kent State taking advantage. The Golden Flashes being able to get out in front, just off balance. Just a nice shot by Emily Bond. Again, fast break opportunity, no assist. Goal number 8 for her on the season. Really making a huge impact. Doesn't matter who it is. They're really going to force that ball in there.
Bond coming off a 2-goal performance against St. Francis last time out, which tied a season high. She nets her first goal of the day, as you had said. Now it's the 6th time this season that Bond has scored. 6th game this season that she has scored in for Kent State. So we saw the Penguins reel off back-to-back goals to make it back down to a 3-goal deficit. And just like that, Kent State has put it back at a 5-goal lead here with just under 7 minutes remaining in our second quarter.
Well, Roma, you talk about Bond as well. You know, scoring over 6 games now. This is her 6th start now on the season. It seems like she has made a goal in every game that she started in.
YSU looking to answer, and they do very quickly. Katie Grotenthaler with her first goal of the afternoon for Youngstown State. Her 8th of the season. We'll take another look at it right here. Penguins with a quick answer.
And again, just beating the defender there off of Kent State. And Grotenthaler, it doesn't matter. Always making different plays. Penguins are really happy that she's able to get involved here, not having a goal and being able to just get on the board. A huge presence for this offensive attack.
Grotenthaler had a really strong start to the season for Youngstown State and then kind of went and gotten a little bit of a hitch offensively, but she looks like she's starting to get that offensive firepower back. Came off a very good game against George Washington on Wednesday, where she had 2 goals and 5 draw controls for Youngstown State. Those 2 goals helped the Penguins have an opportunity towards the end. It was just too little, too late. She nets her first goal here of the day. So 10-6 now is our score. Kent State controls the draw, and here come the Golden Flashes and Emily Bond once again.
Now Grotenthaler now 8 goals for her on the season. Really making it look easy out there.
Crumpton has it for the Golden Flashes, so pass it off behind the net. Under 6 minutes to go here in our first half. Riley Floyd has it. She'll pass it off. Another easy look and another easy goal for Jackie Wolford. Her 4th of the first half. And Kent State, 11 goals. And we are not even 20 full minutes into today's action. Wolford, easy cut. The defender lost her, and she capitalized. You don't want to put Jackie Wolford in too many one-on-one opportunities if you're the opponent. And Youngstown State is doing that way too many times here in our opening half.
Roma, you talk about the free positioning and really being open on that far side. But again, Riley Floyd, she was there, and she can read that field better than anybody on that offensive attack. Found Wolford. Wolford makes plays. It doesn't matter if they're tightly contested or not.
5 minutes, 44 seconds remain here in our second quarter. Kent State with their 11th goal here of the first half. We mentioned how strong they've been in the first half these last 2 games now. And another draw is controlled by Zeta Crumpton. So another possession here. Kent State now 14 draw controls to 5 for the Penguins here in the opening half. And that's really been the difference.
When you look at that game against the Revolutionaries, Youngstown State was really in there on the draw controls, and that's why they kept that game so tightly contested. You would look for them to do the same here to really try and get back in this game.
Cook passes it off. Quickly scooped up by Peyton Gellen. We're going to have a foul called on Youngstown State. This is going to give Kent State a free position opportunity in the stick of Peyton Gellen. Gellen, 2 goals already here in the first half. Had a hat trick in the first half last time out against St. Francis.
Kent State is 10 for 18 on free position opportunities.
Make it 10 for 19. A nice save in the goal for Youngstown State. Paige Borkowski with her 5th save of the first half. And the Penguins now push it the other direction. Grotenthaler with a lot of space. She's going to move it right towards the middle of the field. Her shot, a little bit high, loses her footing. That was a nice save by Sydney Davis, but we're going to have a foul called on Kent State. Grotenthaler got undercut a little bit, it looked like. Lost her footing, and she's going to have a free position attempt working straight away from the goal. Grotenthaler, 1 goal already here in our opening half. Looking to make it 2. The shot and the goal. Katie Grotenthaler gets it past the stick of Sydney Davis. She nets her 2nd goal of the first half. Youngstown State, they're keeping up with Kent State, but there's going to come a time where you're not going to want to be able to trade goals. You're going to want to have to stack them up, and the Penguins will get this one goal closer.
How about Ella Gravitt in the back of the cage there, especially for the Golden Flashes again? Now that she's now played in 9 contests, 5 starts, and again, we've talked about the cycle of goalies. We've really talked about it, and that really has been the Achilles heel, especially for Kent State when you talk about the offensive scoring of the opposing teams being able to just go in there and make plays. But again, a very veteran-heavy team. It's all about being able to get those opportunities and have your goalie rely on that.
4 minutes, 40 seconds remain in our second quarter. 11-7 is our score. Ball on the ground, draw control. Will go to Kent State. Nice job scooping it up by Gellen and spinning off the Youngstown State opponent. Golden Flashes will look to extend this lead once again. It's been an action-packed second quarter. Youngstown State's currently leading at 5-4. 9 combined goals thus far here in our second quarter, and still 4 minutes left.
And again, for the Penguins, it's their ability to really get back in the games quickly. We saw it in the first quarter against the Revolutionaries, 5-2, and now they're able to get back in it, 5-4.
Another good look right there from Gellen. Her shot was off the mark, but the Golden Flashes will keep it. High pass. Can Kent State keep it in play? Yes, they can. Gellen will hold on to, and we're going to have a foul called on the Penguins. This one's going to be on Danny Emler, and she knows right away she's going to go take a seat. That's going to be a yellow card, 2-minute penalty. We'll take another look right here. Emler just a little bit too out of control. And now Kent State will be a woman up for the next 2 minutes.
Well, Roma, you've talked about the clean game that has been played here. Only a few fouls here and there, but other than that, really not too much extracurricular activity really going on here on the field.
So Gellen will have possession as we are back underway. Kent State has it. Golden Flashes 11 goals on 18 shots thus far. Youngstown State 7 goals on 14 shots. Emily Bond has it. She'll pass it back out. Kent State working around the perimeter. Sun peeking back out through the clouds here in Youngstown. Easy bus ride for Kent State, about 40 minutes. Here to YSU.
And that's what's so nice about the MAC conference as well. Everybody's so centralized. You don't have to make that far of a drive to get from place to place.
Hallie with it. She'll pass it off. 43 seconds on the shot clock. We're going to have a stoppage. It's going to be a free position opportunity for Kent State and Morgan Halley. Halley, 1 goal so far today, came back in the first quarter. We'll see if she can add on to it. Awaiting our official's whistle. She'll drive in, the shot and the goal. Halley, top right corner, past the stick of Paige Borkowski. Her second goal of the first half. We'll take another look right here. Halley drives in calmly, gets it right over the stick of Borkowski, and Kent State will extend the lead now, 12-7.
And how about that, Romo? Kent State able to capitalize on the free position opportunity. Now that makes them 11-19 on the season, and their opponents already really take advantage of those free position opportunities over them, but it's really a breath of fresh air for Kent State to really be able to take advantage of that.
8th goal of the season for Halley. Mentioned earlier, coming off a hat trick against St. Francis. Now make it 2 goals today, back-to-back games. Her first 2 games of the season where she has scored multiple goals. Halley, a freshman out of Dublin, Ohio, attended Dublin Kaufman High School, won a 2021 state title. Dublin Kaufman High School produces a lot of good athletes over multiple sports. Flashes will get possession right back. The Penguins control the draw. And then the pass was deflected and effectively stolen away. Turnover caused by Riley Floyd.
And Floyd, again, we talked about her getting involved with the assists, the caused turnovers, does a little bit of everything for this team.
As we approach 2 minutes remaining in our second quarter, Golden Flash is looking to make it a 6-goal lead over YSU. Driving inside is Bond, but the shot was saved by Borkowski. Youngstown State will get it back. The Penguins are able to hold on to possession here for a little bit of time. We're probably looking at about 2 possessions possibly remaining for each team here in our opening half.
And for Borkowski, she's been really busy. 17 shots on goal by the Golden Flashes, 20 shots in general, but how about 5 saves already? She's coming off an 11-save outing against the Revolutionaries.
Aaron Lowry checking back in for Youngstown State. She'll pass it off to Lena Cox. Cox still scoreless here in our opening half. Came in today leading Youngstown State with 14 goals and 17 points this season. Kreutzer has it. She'll have to give it away. As we approach a minute to go here in our opening half. Lowry with it. We saw her score her first career goal earlier on in this quarter. She'll give it up. Nice defense by Kent State. Youngstown State struggling to find an open gap. Crumpton tried to force it loose, but a foul will be called. Ball on the stick of Grace Run for Youngstown State. She'll pass it off to Aaron Lowry.
Crumpton a little bit too much on that, which forces the foul and allows the opportunity here for Youngstown State to kind of settle down just a little bit.
Under 30 seconds to go and 3 seconds on the shot clock. Penguins have to get a shot off. And they're unable to do so. So Kent State will get possession back. Probably the last one here of our opening half.
And for Kent State, that was just good defense. Nowhere to go, nowhere to fit it in, as you could see the fast break opportunity by Kent State.
In the final seconds, going to get one more goal. That shot was wide. One more look for the Golden Flashes, and they'll not get it off. That'll take us to the end of the first half. Very strong first half for Kent State. They lead 12-7 over Youngstown State as we've reached halftime. We'll be right back with first half highlights and stats here from the Cavelli Sports Complex.
Yep. Nice. Beautiful. Nice job, Ella.
it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing.
Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Gem Young Insurance in Canfield if auto owners make sense for you.
You hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Mercy Health, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Mercy Health, primary care for the universe of you. Visit mercy.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
Thanks everyone, especially Vicky. She's been with us since the beginning and saved us enough on our insurance to help us open our second location.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Griffith Agency in Girard if auto owners make sense for you.
Who are you talking to anyway?
It's a commercial.
12-7 is your score at the half as the Kent State Golden Flashes take on the Youngstown State Penguins. And what a first half of action. John Ostapowicz, Anthony Romo on the call. Really, the offensive effort was led by Jackie Wolford. 4 goals in just the first half of play, followed by Zeta Crumpton. This Kent State offense has been involved all across the board. Youngstown State, though, a lot of different players really starting to find their rhythm. Katie Groten-Thaler as well. 2 goals. Allie Garrett, 2 goals as well. A lot of different players for the Penguins trying to really get involved and cut this deficit down. Now, when you look at the assist numbers, Kent State really able to take advantage of it. 5-1, but the fast break opportunities by Youngstown State has really been on the free position opportunities, and a lot of different, things have transpired in that first half, which goes with the shots. Kent State is out shooting Youngstown State 21-14, as well as the shots on goal category was 17-11. The free positioning shots have been the same, 2 of 2, 1 capitalization by the Golden Flashes. And again, the ground ball category is where Kent State has really started to stride. You can see it. They have really led that category, or tried to lead that category, coming into this game. And it's been the testament to what they have been able to do. You can see the highlights once we really start to get in there that this team has really flourished. Just a lot of different, really, looks on offense. It doesn't matter what it is, but you can see the defense by Kent State on any opportunity. But again, Allie Garrett, she has been able to get a lot of tightly contested looks, whether it be the hip check or the defense by Kent State, just making it a really tough time for the Penguins. And Borkowski as well, having a tough day in the back of the net, as she has really faced a ton of shots. Again, 17 shots on goal, coming off an 11 really save performance against the Revolutionaries. And now she has had a tough time really on the season, facing almost 270 shots on the season. And again, it just shows you how well this Penguins defense has been in the back of the cage, but an even better job by the Kent State Golden Flashes offensively. They have really started to flourish towards the later end, but again, they're looking in that second half to get more offensive production, but the Penguins trying to get back in this game ever so slightly.
Yeah, Youngstown State trying to build on somewhat of a good offensive second quarter. As the Penguins, 7 goals in the first half. We've seen better production from Youngstown State. You just can't be trading goals with this Kent State team. Kent State, a few players that performed very well in the first half. Jackie Wolford, Zeta Crumpton, and they're going to look to continue to do so here in the second half.
Yeah, Roman, you're absolutely right. Everyone just trying to get involved, but we've seen a lot of defensive performance by the Golden Flashes, and again, that second half, look for them to get even more involved ever so slightly. Just a lot of different things, and for the Penguins, they're trying to get themselves involved as well. They had a 5-4 advantage there in the second quarter, but again, they're looking to keep that advantage or maybe even try to capitalize on it down the later stretch.
Yeah, it's all going to be down to the draw controls. If Youngstown State can do better with that in the second half, they're going to have a chance to battle back here. Kent State looking to open up Mid-American Conference play with the victory here on the road when we return to the Cavelli Sports Complex.
Good one. Yeah. Nice. Beautiful. Nice job, Ella.
You hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing.
Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Gem Young Insurance in Canfield if auto owners make sense for you.
You hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Mercy Health, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Mercy Health, primary care for the universe of you. Visit mercy.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
Thanks everyone, especially Vicky. She's been with us since the beginning and saved us enough on our insurance to help us open our second location.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Griffith Agency in Girard if auto owners make sense for you.
Who are you talking to anyway?
It's a commercial.
Welcome back here inside the Cavelli Sports Complex on the campus of Youngstown State University. Anthony Romo, John Ostapowitz back on the call for this Mid-American Conference opener between Youngstown State and Kent State. The Golden Flash is currently holding on to a 12-7 lead as we are just about ready to get things going here in our second half. Kent State looking for win number 4 on the season, their second consecutive win here today, while Youngstown State is still in search of their first win of the season. And John, if you're Youngstown State, of course you want to get that monkey off your back and get that first win, but especially here today, playing on your home field. This is the end of a 3-game homestand before Youngstown State goes back onto the road for 3 more coming up. Doesn't get any easier for the Penguins, and it doesn't get any easier, especially when you're playing away from home.
No, Roman, you're absolutely right. And Kent State is not an easy opponent in their own regard as well. In the MAC last year, 7-1. So again, all the conference, opponents that are on their schedule coming up, it's going to be a tough road for them. But getting a win here today would really help their confidence moving forward for a long road of conference play ahead.
Yeah, this is the opening day for conference play in the Mid-American Conference. Detroit Mercy playing Central Michigan today. Akron squaring off with Robert Morris. Then Eastern Michigan also playing today. They have a non-conference game against Marquette. That game at Marquette, out in Milwaukee. The Marquette Golden Eagles men's basketball team going to be a big seed in the NCAA tournament, which the bracket is revealed today. Kent State, their men's team had a crushing loss last night against Akron in the MAC title game, but their women's team winning the MAC title. They'll be moving on to March Madness, so that's still some excitement. And Kent State, they're kind of rolling athletics-wise. Their baseball team defeated Youngstown State earlier this week as the Penguins get the opening goal of the third quarter. So YSU starting the second half on the right foot, and we'll see if this goal right here can build some momentum for the rest of the second half. Lena Cox netting her first goal of the afternoon, getting it past the stick of Ella Gravitt in the goal, and the Penguins 1 goal closer.
Well, Romo, we talked about Lena Cox and how important she is for this team. Whenever she gets involved, it's a huge momentum booster on the offensive side, and she was able to now get involved here in the second half. It makes you wonder what Coach Harris said in the locker room to get this Penguins offense going.
Most definitely. Whatever he said worked out. For Cox, her first goal of the day. She had 2 goals the last time out against George Washington, also with season-high 2 assists in that game. Cox has netted at least 2 goals in 3 consecutive games. She's looking to make it 4 straight here today.
So 15 now for her on the year. As a freshman, that is an impressive feat, especially for her, and she's really making a claim on the offensive side.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier how last year Jackie Wolford and Kenzie Scalar for Kent State set a new MAC single-season record with 69 goals each. Previous record was held by Natalie Calandra-Ryan of Youngstown State. She had netted 68 in her freshman season. So you think 15's impressive. Calandra-Ryan 68 in her first season. That was quite the year. That was the year that Youngstown State won a share of the Mid-American Conference regular season title. Youngstown State looking to get back to those measures with Coach Rob Harris. But a lot of freshmen on the team this year that could go through some growing pains, and you're playing off against a very quality team in Kent State here today.
Well, Romo, you talk about Calandra-Ryan, you talk about Aaron Clark, and a lot of these other players that were on this team. They were built from the ground up here. And again, coaching and being able to translate their talents to a collegiate level just shows you how much of a great program Youngstown State has. It doesn't matter who you are. They can translate your talents to a big level.
Wolford will give it up. Jackie Wolford, 4 first-half goals for Kent State. Looking to do more of the same here in the second half. Morgan Halley has it. She had 2 first-half goals for the Golden Flashes.
For Halley, you can see how patient she really is. It doesn't matter if you can't find an opportunity or not. I mean, just sit there and wait for somebody to get open.
That shot was off the mark. Rolls into the stick of Borkowski, so Youngstown State gets an empty possession out of the Golden Flashes. We'll see if they can execute offensively. We saw them get it down to a 3-goal deficit during a point of the second quarter, but then Kent State went on a bit of a run to blow the lead back up. But now the Penguins will look to get another goal here to begin the second half. Already scored 1. Lena Cox scored the first goal of the second half, 1 minute and 5 seconds into the third quarter. Kreutzer with it. She'll pass it off. Good crowd on hand here today at the Covelli Sports Complex. Pass was behind the net. We're going to have a whistle blown by our official, and a timeout will be called by Youngstown State's head coach in Rob Harris. So first time out here of the third quarter. We'll stay right here. 12-8 is our score. We'll give a little bit of a game reset. Kent State, 12 goals on 23 shots. Youngstown State, 8 goals on 16 shots. Still looking back at the draw controls. Kent State's controlling that 16-7. We talked about turnovers coming into today. Both teams have struggled in the turnover category this season coming in today, but it's been a pretty clean game. Knock on wood for both sides. Just 4 turnovers each through our first 33.5 minutes so far today.
Yeah, and you talk about the turnovers category. Both teams really struggling this season with being able to cradle the stick and not allow that ball to really jar loose. But again, 4 turnovers apiece. I mean, you have to be feeling good for both teams to know that those turnovers aren't really playing a pivotal role here in this game. You've seen a lot of clean offense here to start.
We'll see if they start to creep up on either side here today. And this third quarter for both sides has kind of been a struggle this season. Youngstown State's been outscored 28-15 in the third quarter. Kent State's been outscored 35-19. But both teams this season, the fourth quarter has been their strongest, and kind of it's worked into their way during some games where, especially on Youngstown State's side, it hasn't been real close in the fourth quarter in some games. So you're playing against the reserves of other teams, and you're able to kind of net a few goals here and there, and the same could go for Kent State. But if you're playing your best at the end of the game, that's a good sign. I know in past years for Youngstown State, the fourth quarter has really been their strong suit under previous coaches, and we'll see if that can continue under Coach Rob Harris.
And we did see that against the Revolutionaries there just a little bit, but again, I mean, offense can only go such a long way. Your defense has to capitalize as well, and we've seen a couple games where their defense has really started to falter just a little bit, and that has led to an offensive surge by a lot of teams.
So coming out of the Youngstown State timeout, Penguins will keep possession. 50 seconds remain on the shot clock. Working deep in Kent State territory, excuse me.
Still thinking about that game from last night?
No, I was looking at the schedule on my laptop, and I was looking at Akron. That's why I said that. That's why you look at the field when you call the game, John, not your laptop. You get mixed up. You can't multitask. 11 minutes, 20 seconds remain here in the third quarter. 25 seconds remain on the shot clock for Youngstown State. Lena Cox, who scored the first goal of the third quarter for the Penguins, passes it off, and now she gets it back. Kent State doing a good job defensively, standing on the perimeter of the defense, not letting YSU get close, but they do so right there. And Ava Kreutzer scores a goal for the Penguins, her second of the day, and it's back down to a 3-goal deficit.
Well, what's so great, and you'll see right here, especially Cox finding Kreutzer on the far right. And again, Kreutzer, when she gets hot, she's able to really get involved. Great job for her really leading this team. And the second she gets her first goal of the game, in which she did, she will just try and find a way to keep adding numbers. And that's what she's doing here. And that's just a great play by her all the way through, and a great assist as well, just looking to see where players are, and it looks like that will be credited by Tyler Smith as well. 11th goal by Kreutzer on the season. Just a great play.
12-9 is our score. Back out on midfield for another draw.
And Romo, you look in the back of the net for Kent State, you do have now another goalie. Taylor Montoro, piece from last year coming in to this year as well. We've talked about the different goalies really trying to play a crucial role for this team.
Turnover by the Penguins after controlling the draw. Montero, a senior out of Dublin, Ohio, attended Hilliard-Davidson High School. A lot of Ohioans on this Kent State roster. As the Golden Flashes get possession back. Looking to be a big season for Kent State in conference play. They were tabbed as the conference preseason #1 team in the league this season. Youngstown State picked to finish 5th this year in the MAC. Kent State received 3 first-place votes, one of a few teams that received 3 first-place votes, them as well as Central Michigan. Central Michigan won the MAC a year ago in the tournament.
And Romo, Central Michigan has one of the toughest schedule in the MAC. They have to play 4 ranked opponents.
Good look inside. Nice save by Borkowski. You were mentioning, John, Central Michigan's tough non-conference schedule. Kind of look at it both sides. You might struggle early on in the season, which Central Michigan has, the Chippewas, but it could really benefit them come conference play. 9.5 minutes to go. Another empty possession for the Golden Flashes, and Youngstown State has another chance to chip into this deficit. It's been quite a while since it's been a 2-goal difference here in this ball game. Kent State's been able to build an edge and keep it ever since the first quarter. Last time it was a 2-goal game was when Kent State made it 4-2 with 6:29 remaining in our first quarter. Groen thaler passes it off to Allie Garrett. So we're now under 9 minutes remaining in our third quarter. Kreutzer and Cox have scored the first 2 goals of the third quarter for the Penguins. As they'll continue to move it around the back of the goal, Hoffman passes it off. Now back out in front. Peck has it. She'll get rid of it. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Can Grotenthaler get a quick first step? Kent State's doing a good job defensively. Passing to Kreutzer. Another shot, another goal. Ava Kreutzer stepping up in a big way here today. She now has a hat trick with her 3rd goal of the afternoon, an off-balance shot through the defense, and it's a 12-10 ball game.
And how about that, Romo, as well? Ava Kreutzer now hat trick in this game, and I talked about it. When Kreutzer gets hot, she's going to find a way to accumulate a lot of scoring to get this team back in it. And again, they were down a lot now. It's only a 2-goal game, especially they were able to get the assist numbers online. They had 1 in just the first half. Now they add 2 to that, and they're able, trying to find the cut in the lane, and that's going to help them.
That'll take us to media timeout. 8 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Kent State on top, 12-10.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing.
Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Siebert Keck Insurance in Youngstown if auto owners make sense for you.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Mercy Health, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Mercy Health, primary care for the universe of you. Visit mercy.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
You hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why.
Welcome back. 8:26 to go in the third quarter. Youngstown State jumping out to a quick 3-0 advantage here in our third quarter. 2 goals from Ava Kreutzer has given her her 3rd hat trick of the season here today. Kent State looking to answer Youngstown State here in this third quarter. Golden Flashes led by 6-year head coach in Brianne Tierney. They're going to look to find an answer.
And Tierney as well, been with this program since its inaugural season, has really built this program from the ground up, and she's not shy from building programs. She has done that before in the past in 2011, 2012. She brings that really knowledge here. She's done a great job for the Kent State Golden Flashes.
Yeah, Tierney has been all over the place, coaching collegiate lacrosse at all levels of the sport. Youngstown State controlling another draw. They have a chance to chip into this deficit once again and cut it in half. It's been a strong start to this third quarter for the Penguins. Another shot. This one saved in the net by Taylor Monturo. Nice save by Monturo. And Youngstown State will come up empty for the first time here in our third quarter. Over halfway through now officially in our third quarter. Kent State still scoreless, but they haven't had too many offensive possessions to work with.
Romo, we talked about, the goalies for Kent State, and Monturo really seems to be the best fit. 215 total saves throughout her career, .422 save percentage, 112 shots. So, again, she's done a great job.
Yeah, 42% save percentage is pretty good. We have a foul called on the Penguins. A card's going to be given to Lena Cox. This will be a green card. So that'll be tough for the Penguins for the next minute, working without one of their best offensive players. We'll see if Kent State can catch the Penguins while they're down here and tack on a goal. I mentioned the Golden Flash is looking for their second consecutive win today. The 3-6 record can be deceiving. They started out the year very tough, starting the season 1-5, but they've won 2 of their last 3. They're looking to make it 3 of their last 4 here today.
And again, for the Golden Flashes, when they face a bunch of teams with a combined record of 35-14, that is a tough schedule, definitely down the stretch when all your opponents combined have a winning record.
Another foul called on the Penguins. This will be a free position chance for Kent State. 2 players have notched hat tricks already today. Jackie Wolford has 4 for Kent State. Zeta Crumpton has 3 goals for the Golden Flashes. All 3 of those goals came within the first 10 minutes of the first quarter. That shot's off the mark, out of play. Possession will go back to Youngstown State. It's been a very encouraging start to this second half for the Penguins. Something that Coach Rob Harris has to really be happy with thus far.
You're right, Romo. And for Kent State, they would love to keep this lead, and that's going to come with defensive effort. And when they have free position opportunities, try and take advantage of that. You're now 11-20 on free position opportunities, really struggling in that category when your opponents take an opportunity on it.
So Youngstown State still down without Lena Cox for 16 more seconds, as a green card was given to Zeta Crumpton of Kent State, so she's going to have to take a seat. So now we're even once again. In a few seconds, Youngstown State will now be the team with a player up. As we approach 6 minutes remaining here in our third quarter. Anthony Romo, John Ostapwitz on the call here. Mid-American Conference opener for both Youngstown State and Kent State. Katie Grotenthaler with it for YSU. Lena Cox will now come back onto the field for Youngstown State. We'll see if they can take advantage of it.
Definitely putting a lot of offensive attackers on the field here, trying to create some more scoring for the Penguins.
57 seconds remain on the shot clock. Cox had a good look, but she wasn't able to get found by her teammate. Erin Lowry now has it. She'll pass it off. Ava Kreutzer already 2 goals this quarter for Youngstown State and a costly turnover. It was an easy pass behind the net that the Penguins couldn't do cleanly, and Kent State will get it back.
Romo, you saw that open look by Cox. Cox was there, and she was able to, if she found the assist. But the assist numbers for the Penguins really haven't been in their favor. They only have 19. Well, now they do have 22 on the season, but coming in the game, they had 19. Their opponents have 63 assists. They've not been able to take really any opportunity on the assist numbers. Youngstown State would really like to get that number a little bit higher.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's not a number that we've talked about a lot necessarily, but it's a number that I've definitely seen for the Penguins. And the goals they've scored this season, they don't have many assists compared to a lot of their opponents this season. Penguins have taken advantage of their fair share of free position opportunities this season, which you're not going to get an assist off of any of those. But still a 12-10 ball game here. Penguins going to look to chip into it. Grotenthaler, nice move, and she finds the back of the net. That one deserves another look. Katie Grotenthaler, that first stutter step got her defender off balance, gave her quite a lot of space, and she took advantage. Grotenthaler makes us a 1-goal deficit for the Penguins.
She even absorbed the contact on that one, too, and that'll give her a hat trick now. Groen Thaler has done a great job. You even see there were 2 defenders there, forced her on the ground, and it doesn't matter if she had 5 defenders on her. She was going to make that play.
Katie Grotenthaler, a freshman out of Corning, New York. Her 3rd goal today, as you had said, ties a career high. She had 3 goals in the season opener against Oregon way back on February 9th. That seems like it was 4 months ago. 4 minutes, 25 seconds remain in our 3rd quarter. Youngstown State tacks on another goal. They have outscored the Golden Flashes 4-0 here in our 3rd quarter. And another draw control for Youngstown State. Mia Stahl has it for the Penguins. She's going to quickly push it into Kent State territory. Good look, the shot, a little bit high. But YSU will keep possession.
Youngstown State slowly creeping up to try and get Kent State in the draw control category. Now 16-10 in that regard.
That's been the big difference this quarter for Youngstown State. This is like a polar opposite of what we saw in the 1st quarter. Penguins won about 6-7 minutes without an offensive possession because Kent State was dominating the draw controls. Now this quarter, it's been Youngstown State taking advantage there. Lowry driving inside. She's had a very confident afternoon, scored her 1st career goal earlier today. Cox passes it out to Grotenthaler. Now behind the net working is Youngstown State. 36 seconds on the shot clock. Penguins looking to tie it up. For the first time since the 1st quarter, Lowry can't field the easy pass, and that's going to be another tough turnover for Youngstown State. Can Kent State take advantage? Working with numbers. Pass over to Morgan Halley. Kent State brought a good contingent of fans. We mentioned they have a lot of Ohioans on their team. A lot of Northeast Ohioans as well. Can make the easy drive down to Youngstown.
Especially with it being so close, a lot of fans able to make the drive, which Mid-American Conference play, all those campuses are relatively close.
Ball jarred free, and that's a turnover. Forced by the Penguins defense. So YSU will get it back once again.
And the Penguins defense making a crucial stop there. And that's what they need to really get the momentum in their favor.
Kayla Stecker caused that turnover. She has been huge defensively this season for Youngstown State. Her 1st turnover caused today and her season high 14th this season for the Penguins. Kayla Stecker, a junior for YSU out of Carle Place, New York. Started all 18 games a season ago and was 4th on the team in caused turnovers. We just mentioned she's 1st on the team this season. It's going to be a good look inside. That one was forced free from Hoffman's stick. But a foul will be called on Kent State. Our official's going to say a little bit too aggressive defensively. So that's going to set the Penguins up with a free position opportunity. And Emma Hoffman's going to have a very, very good look here.
And Romo, we haven't talked about her a lot, but that was a foul on Lily Miller. And you talk about caused turnovers, and she has 8 for this Kent State team. And defensively, she has been a huge bright spot.
Hoffman shot off the mark. You mentioned, Lily Miller's been huge for Kent State this season. She has it right now, working down the near side. She'll now pass it away back towards the middle. Miller will retreat back to the defense.
And Miller, an all-MAC first-team selection last season.
One of the key members of that Kent State team that want to share the regular season title as they finally break the crease. Here in the 3rd quarter, the Golden Flashes with a very good look. They net their 1st goal of the 2nd half. Kylie Marone scoring the goal for Kent State. You see Marone away from the defender, had an easy look inside, and she capitalized.
And for Marone, that is her 1st goal of the season. Phenomenal job again. We've talked about a lot of different players that get involved. And now, here it is. Marone being able to do it off of a nice assist by guess who? Jackie Wolford.
Marone appearing in her 4th game here today. 1st appearance in 10 days. Missed all of last season due to an injury. And she was able to finally get that first goal of the season. We'll see if that'll catapult some momentum for Kent State back in their direction.
And again, now second goal of her career. Great effort.
13-11 is our score. 1 minute, 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Youngstown State held Kent State scoreless for almost 14 full minutes. This is going to be a ball game regardless. Heading into the fourth quarter, the Penguins control the draw. Jenna Cook has it. Cook, a name that we haven't said much today for Youngstown State, but she's another freshman that has really stepped up this season.
And Romo, for this Penguins team, we've talked about it a couple games over the past, and they love to control the time of possession in the second half.
See if YSU can retain possession, have the goalie outside of the cage. But a nice job by Monturo, confidently moving out. She's able to get it for the Golden Flash. That'll be a turnover for Youngstown State.
And for Monturo, she looks poised in the back of the cage, really being a great fit now, not allowing really that much ever since being put in the back of the cage, being able to track down and look where things are going.
We have a green card given to the Penguins. Actually, it's given to Kent State. This one's given to Lily Miller. So she'll be down for a minute. Our official just clarifying the call. Kent State's fans don't agree with it. Coach Tierney getting an explanation. .7 seconds remaining in our third quarter. Youngstown State has possession. Shot clock turned off.
And up here, it was trying to see where Lily Miller really got that foul, where it was that was called, and that's maybe why the Kent State faithful here are not happy with that. They themselves are kind of confused on why that call was made.
So that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. It's going to be a real exciting final 15 minutes here from Farmers National Bank Field. Kent State on top, 13-11. We'll be right back with fourth quarter action after this.
Thanks everyone, especially Vicky. She's been with us since the beginning and saved us enough on our insurance to help us open our second location.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Champion Insurance of Austintown in Austintown if auto owners make sense for you.
Who are you talking to anyway?
It's a commercial.
Good one.
Yeah. Nice. Beautiful. Nice job, Ella.
You hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why.
Fourth quarter action about ready to begin here from the Covelli Sports Complex. Kent State on top of Youngstown State 13-11. Anthony Romo, John Ostapowitz back on the call. John, a very strong third quarter from Youngstown State, outscoring the Golden Flashes 4-1, has made this a ball game all of a sudden as we head into the final 15 minutes.
Well, defensively for Youngstown State, they have found what works. You've seen the different substitutions that have come in and out during the game, whether it be the first or the second half, and already this is the lineup that has been working. Being able to hold them 4-1, and you've seen them, whether it be Kent State outscoring them in the first and tying in the second, but now Youngstown State is slowly able to try and creep back in. Kent State is looking for a defensive stop, especially in the back of the cage.
Most definitely. So the Penguins will start fourth quarter with the possession, which was huge after the green card was given to Lily Miller towards the end of the third quarter. Youngstown State will start the fourth quarter, a woman up and with possession. We'll see if the Penguins can dig into this deficit once again.
And especially with your key defender not being in the game, Lily Miller, they could really take advantage of that.
Penguins, mentioned with the opening possession. Peck passes it over to Ava Kreutzer. Kreutzer, one of two Penguins with 3 goals today. Her and Katie Grotenthal are each with 3. 2 freshmen for the Penguins. YSU moving the ball around quickly.
And again, Penguins lost it. And Kent State will scoop it up for the ground ball and being able to take it away, but
so just 4 seconds remain on the green card for Lily Miller.
it looks like another green card will be signaled.
This one will be given to Allie Garrett for Youngstown State. So we'll take another look right here. Collision towards midfield. Penguin hits the turf. So now Kent State, for 56 seconds, will have the opportunity to play a woman up themselves. As Miller makes her way back out onto the field, Golden Flash is looking to extend this lead once again. They've been led today by Jackie Wolford, who has 4 goals. Zeta Crumpton has 3. Morgan Halley has 2, and Peyton Gellen has 2 as well.
Well, Romo, we talked about the clean game, but again, now here in the fourth quarter, you're starting to see a lot of green cards and fouls starting to come into play. Because again, this is the final stretch. This is where a lot of different things really start to transpire here in the fourth.
Conference opener for both teams here today. Kind of conference opening day around the MAC. 3 conference games going on today. Gellen has it. She'll pass it off. Kent State continues to pass around the perimeter. Just 8 seconds remain on the green card for Allie Garrett for Youngstown State. Floyd has it. Wants it back. 30 seconds remain on the shot clock. Kent State jumped out to a lead as big as 6 goals at one point here in today's match, but Youngstown State has fought their way back. Foul's going to be called on the Penguins. This is going to give Kent State a free position opportunity on the far side.
We know how crucial this free position opportunity is for Kent State. If they're able to connect on this, be able to play some more defense, they might be able to keep that lead and slowly close this one out.
Emily Bond has it. She'll pass it away. Just 10 seconds remain on the shot clock. Can Kent State get a shot off? Ball on the stick of Crumpton. That's off the mark. That'll bounce out. Shot clock back to 60 for the Golden Flashes.
And that was a nice job being able to recover it. Now you have a fresh shot clock with a 2-goal lead. Again, in the fourth quarter.
So it was a great 90 seconds of defense for Youngstown State. They're going to have to extend it a little bit more. We'll see if they can force Kent State to come up empty once again. YSU was tied at 11 in the fourth quarter against George Washington their last time out. Fell apart late. Can they have a strong fourth quarter here today? Or can Kent State get their second consecutive win and hold the Penguins off? Good look inside. Shot saved by Borkowski. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
That was a tightly contested shot by Jackie Wolford, which a little bit wide on the mark. But again, you saw her standing there. She was trying to tell her teammates, go deep, go down, trying to make a cut. But again, that Penguins defense finding no open room.
10 seconds on the shot clock. For Kent State, they're working behind the net. Riley Floyd will have it for Kent State when we get back underway. And our officials were just figuring out where the ball went out of play. Floyd trying to inch a little bit closer. With only 10 seconds on the shot clock.
And again, is trying to get a shot off.
Good look for Wolford. Shot was high. 1 second left on the shot clock. Shot clock started late. Doesn't matter. That'll be a shot clock violation. Youngstown State will get possession back. A nice 150 seconds of defense, 2.5 minutes. Kent State comes up empty.
And again, this Penguins defense, bend, don't break. And that's what they're doing. They're bending just a little bit, but when you have to face that much time on the defensive end, it's going to be tough, but they did a tremendous job.
Penguins looking to cut this deficit in half. 6th meeting all time between the two schools. YSU leads the series 3-2. Cox has it for the Penguins, trying to work towards the middle. Her shot wide of the net. Possession will stay with Youngstown State.
And Roma, you talk about the all-time meeting between these two teams. Kent State was in the ASUN conference in 2019 for their inaugural season for lacrosse, and officially moved to the MAC in lacrosse in 2021.
Lena Cox finds the back of the net. Her second goal of the day. And it's 13-12.
And Cox getting involved for this offense, and again, they're able to cut the deficit to 1. A great job. And we talked about her size a lot. 4'11" stature, being able to just evade the defense, go right under, and cut. And a perfect job by Cox.
Put it right between the legs of Taylor Monturo in the goal. And it's a 1-goal deficit for Youngstown State. Yeah, you mentioned that, John. A lot of schools that were in the MAC, some of the schools that were in the MAC, were in that ASUN conference before the Mid-American Conference was formed. In 2021 was the first season of the conference. Made it a lot easier for a lot of these schools not having to travel as much. That was Youngstown State's first season of lacrosse. It's been really helpful. The MAC is a mix of schools, some schools from the Horizon and other sports, but then most of the teams are Mid-American Conference teams and their other sports: Eastern Michigan, Akron, Kent State, Central Michigan. Then you also have Robert Morris, YSU, and Detroit Mercy. Golden Flashes with possession after controlling the draw. It was Wolford that controlled it. Pass was a little bit wide, but a nice job by Kent State of keeping possession as Kylie Marconi was able to keep it with the Golden Flashes. But a turnover is forced very quickly by Danny Emler. YSU has it back. Chance to tie it. Hasn't been tied since it was 2-2 in the first quarter, but a high pass from the Penguins will give it right back to Kent State. Crowd's starting to get into it. You mentioned, John, you can start to feel it being a little bit more here. 9:58 to go in the fourth quarter. Timeout called on the field. We'll stay right here. Kent State has the possession. We were talking about it earlier, John. They kind of use this 3 goalkeeper rotation. They've used all 3 here today. Taylor Monturo has 2 saves. Sydney Davis had 3. Ella Gravitt had 1. For Youngstown State, it's been Paige Borkowski all day. 9 saves for the freshman, the lone goalkeeper on this Youngstown State team.
And for Youngstown State, that one lone goalkeeper, Borkowski, all the minutes, and does a tremendous job. And for Kent State, it really feels like their weakness is really inconsistent goalie play. There's been a lot of different goalies, and for an offense of, an opposing team, they can take advantage of that. Because again, your goalkeeper is what sets the pace. They know what is going to happen as far as an offense is concerned. Now that they're thrown in there at the spare of the moment, they're really not going to be able to read the offense and what they can do, and that's why the Penguins are now slowly taking advantage of this. Now, it has been cut down by 1 goal because, again, that offense, they're running hot right now.
Yeah, it's kind of unfamiliar territory for Youngstown State to have kind of a true freshman in goal. The first few seasons of the program, they were able to benefit out of the transfer portal. The year that they won a share of the Mid-American Conference regular season title, they had a grad transfer in Savannah Clark who came in and played huge minutes in goal for Youngstown State, one of the top goalkeepers in the MAC. So Borkowski, she has a lot of collegiate lacrosse ahead of her, and she's going to gain a lot of valuable experience this season.
And for both teams, the transfer portal is one of, for any team, utilizing the transfer portal can help your team tremendously. You can find a lot of different, diamonds in the rough, as you would say, just taking players, even if they have just a little bit of talent, taking that raw, uncut talent and translating it to that team. That's got to be great coaching.
Yeah, Youngstown State only one transfer on this year's roster. Paige Jankowski was a local kid from Boardman. She transferred in after spending her first 2 seasons at Ursuline College. Jankowski has appeared in 2 games this season against Stetson and Cincinnati. But yeah, of course, we've seen Youngstown State and other sports here really utilize the transfer portal, whether that's softball, football, men's and women's basketball. Baseball has a few transfers. Kent State with possession coming out of the timeout called by their head coach in Brienne Tierney. Looking to build a cushion once again on this lead. So we're under 10 minutes to go here in our 4th quarter.
And Tierney during the timeout, I'm sure was talking to really be able to limit the turnovers and really play stout defense because, again, you have the lead by 1. Don't allow the Penguins to get easy opportunities.
Under 50 seconds on the shot clock for Kent State. As they look to build on this lead. Youngstown State defensively trying to keep the Golden Flashes away. Megan Haddo has it. She'll pass it away. Mentioned Kent State's 7 first quarter goals that jump out to an early 7-2 advantage. But the Penguins have fought their way back ever since, especially here in the second half where they've outscored Kent State 5-1. Weaving through the defense, the shot off the mark. Saved by Borkowski. It was a good look from Megan Halley, but Borkowski was able to save it.
She has been busy here in the back of the cage for the Penguins. 10 saves now. Again, 11 save performance. She has been a bright spot for this defense, really stepping up in crucial situations. She did let up a few goals, but again, you can't save them all.
Penguins now with possession, looking to tie it up. So we approach 8 minutes remaining here in our 4th quarter. Lena Cox now with it for Youngstown State. Trying to get towards the middle of the Kent State defense, but they're doing a good job with perimeter defense here, keeping the Penguins outside. Pass now behind the net. Tyler Smith has it for YSU. And a timeout will be called by Coach Rob Harris here with 7 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in our 4th quarter. That'll take us to a break. Kent State on top 13-12 as we near halfway through here in our 4th and final quarter.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
3rd best thing.
3rd best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Siebert Keck Insurance in Youngstown if auto owners make sense for you.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Mercy Health, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Mercy Health, primary care for the universe of you. Visit mercy.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
You hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Because we're the kind of people who look out for each other. Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together, we are Youngstown State University. And now you know why.
Welcome back here to Farmers National Bank Field. 7 minutes, 49 seconds remain here in the conference opener for Youngstown State and Kent State. Penguins with possession coming out of a timeout by Coach Rob Harris. They're going to have 33 seconds on the shot clock. We're going to have 7:49 on the game clock as the Penguins look to continue this comeback trail against Kent State, the team that was picked to win the MAC in the preseason poll.
And Youngstown State trying to get that offense involved, and they have. This second half has really been where this offense has flourished.
Lena Cox with it. She'll pass it off. Golden Flash has done a good job defensively, not letting the Penguins get many good looks here in the second half. They just scored on some tough opportunities. Garrett shot. That's a goal. Nope, it's off the mark, actually. I could have sworn that touched the inside of the net, but it did not. Must have hit off the post. So Kent State keeps the Penguins scoreless there on that possession. And with 7:22 remaining, at the shot at the crossbar, I thought I heard it hit something. I thought I saw the net move. Just didn't get behind the line.
Yeah, Romo.
Take another look right here.
You're absolutely right, and you can see it just hit just a little bit off the crossbar. I mean, that was a tough look as well.
Can't get much closer than that.
And a foul as well.
A yellow card given to Aver Kreutzer for Youngstown State, so that's a big loss for the Penguins without one of their top scorers today for the next 2 minutes.
And Romo, when you break down that play again, off the crossbar, and there was a foul that transpired on Cameron Meek, really Kreutzer out there. It was back and forth with Meek there, and you just saw her get hit. She was favoring her head, and there was just a ton that transpired during that play.
Pass inside to Wolford. Her shot's a little bit high. Jackie Wolford, 4 goals today to lead all scorers on both sides. Under 7 minutes remaining here in our fourth quarter. Can Kent State get another goal here to build a little bit of a cushion and put a lot of pressure on the home team? Jackie Wolford has it, reigning Mid-American Conference Offensive Player of the Year. She'll pass it off now to Zeta Crumpton.
There's a lot of pressure on both of these teams, especially how close it is now in the fourth.
Good look, the shot and the goal. Peyton Gellen nets her 3rd goal of the day for Kent State. Back-to-back hat tricks now for Peyton Gellen in the last 2 games this week. She had 4 goals the last time out, and she nets her 3rd right there. And that's a big goal for Kent State now with 6 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Youngstown State's going to put a lot of pressure, not only on them to control draws, but find the back of the net quickly.
How about that assist by Zeta Crumpton, just being able to find Gellen right in the back. Excellent job by her, 12th goal of the season. Phenomenal work by Kent State, being able to pull away here in the fourth.
Back to midfield, the draws become ever so serious here now down the stretch.
The question is, can Youngstown State win those?
Ball still on the ground. We'll see who can come up with possession. Kent State has it. Here come the Golden Flashes. Jackie Wolford with it. As they now look to make this a 3-goal advantage on the Penguins. Kent State, 3 players with hat tricks today. We mentioned Wolford with 4, Crumpton has 3, and now Gellen also with 3. Driving inside with it is Crumpton. She'll have to give it up. A good look here inside. Another shot by Gellen, but that one is saved by Borkowski.
That was a risky move by the Penguins there. You saw a double team on the far right. That allowed a player to get open on the left, and that was just a one-on-one with Borkowski.
Here comes the Penguins. Looking to make this a 1-goal deficit once again. They'll now slow it down. Jenna Cook brought it across midfield. Now pass out to Lena Cox. Cox still has it, working on the right side. 54 seconds remain on the shot clock for Youngstown State. Stutter steps off a defender, the shot and the goal. Another big goal for Lena Cox. She's now the 3rd Penguin with a hat trick here today. She nets her 3rd goal, 4th total point to go along with an assist. And Youngstown State with a quick answer, John. 4:41 to go. It's still anyone's ball game.
And Lena Cox there again, utilizing the size, beat the defender off guard. And Lena Cox now, excellent job by the Penguins. 3 hat tricks. I mean, seems like the first time this season that many players have gotten a hat trick for the Penguins. And Kent State and Youngstown State looking evenly matched now in the stat category.
Lena Cox, 17th goal of the season. back out at midfield for another draw. Youngstown State looking to end this 3-game homestand on a high note. Penguins still looking for their first win of the season. And the Penguins will control the draw. It's been a nice job by Tyler Smith at midfield here in the second half. She's been a good answer because Sydney Deering dominated for her team in the first half. Green card given to Jackie Wolford, so she's going to be out for a minute. Penguins will have possession.
Penguins getting some easy breaks, winning the draw control, getting the green card. And again, you have your number one scorer, a scorer who can do a lot, assist now.
Top scorer in the MAC. 4.5 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. Penguins, we mentioned, had a very tough loss where it was tied at 11 very late in the fourth quarter against George Washington on Wednesday. They're looking to redeem themselves here today.
Well, the Penguins, they've played in a lot of tight games. Same could be said for Kent State as well, especially against Longwood. They're no strangers to tight games.
Brooke Peck has it. Looking for the cutting teammate in Kreutzer, but she'll pass it off behind the net. Groen Thaler on the far side. She'll pass it off. Look inside to Cox. The shot and the goal. Lena Cox ties it up at 14. And the Youngstown State comeback has brought this all the way to a tie game as Cox had a very easy look, got lost in the defense, and Youngstown State has tied it up.
And Lena Cox has really put the scoring efforts on her back here in the fourth quarter. I mean, just lighting it up back and forth, being able to take advantage. And how about the assist numbers for Youngstown State? They needed to get that stat line up, and they're able to get it. Emma Hoffman able to feed Cox on the lead. And again, that's what the Penguins needed. They needed to get those assist numbers involved. It's all about finding someone open. We've seen it already. Open looks. Cox could have had another goal earlier on, but now this offense, they're clicking.
The lead has been as big as 5 on 2 occasions. For Kent State, they led 10-5 and 12-7 in our second quarter, but now the Penguins control another draw, and they have a chance to take their first lead since it was 1-0 a minute and a half into the ball game.
Now for Kent State, they're hoping Montero can step up as well, because they're going to try for Youngstown State to force another goal so they can take the lead. You're going to see a one-on-one with a lot of offensive players. Montero really has to watch Cox, but again, the size differential.
Lena Cox has scored a couple goals here in the fourth quarter. Allie Garrett drives in her shot, and she finds the back of the net. They're going to wave it off, though. The whistle was blown before the shot. It's going to be a free position opportunity, though, for Allie Garrett.
So, Romo, they do wipe the goal away, but again, a free position opportunity. We've seen the Penguins capitalize on these. And you can see just maybe some contact down the stretch by Lily Miller. Again, another foul by her.
Garrett drives in, her shot bounces free. So Kent State saved by the whistle, but the Penguins will retain offensive possession.
And again, the Penguins being able to regain. You can see them just back and forth. Didn't get the goal, didn't get the free position, but trying to capitalize on it.
The shot and another goal for Lena Cox, and Youngstown State has taken the lead. Cox with her 5th goal of the day, a new career high 5 goals. You'll see it put it right past the stick of Montero, and just like that, the Penguins have taken the lead with 2 minutes and 49 seconds remaining. Timeout called by Kent State.
And Romo, I cannot believe my eyes. Lena Cox comes into the game, 14 goals, puts this offense on her back, and now how about that? Youngstown State, 1 goal lead over the Kent State Golden Flashes. And for Kent State, they need to talk this over, especially with the way this game has gone now in Youngstown State's favor. A lot of momentum towards them, but how about it?
Youngstown State, 3 goals from Lena Cox here in the fourth quarter. John, she's been everywhere for the Penguins. She's been getting good looks too. She's been able to sneak around the defense. We'll take another look right here. That shot right there gave the Penguins the lead. It's been Lena Cox 4, Kent State 1 here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Ramon, for Lena Cox, whether it be making a play by your own, finding assists, I mean, just beating Montero one-on-one, I mean, that's a tough look, especially we've talked about the goalie play for Kent State now, really costing them games. And again, it's trying to find a goalie that really works. I mean, all of these goalies on this team are phenomenal, but keeping one in and allowing them to read the offense and allowing them to really just cement themselves is what's going to work for this team.
Both teams heading back out onto the field. It'll be Deering for Kent State and Smith for Youngstown State on the draw. Just 2 minutes and 49 seconds remain here in our fourth quarter. What a second half it's been for Youngstown State collectively as a team. They've outscored Kent State 4-1 in each quarter here in the second half, 8-2 overall in the second half after the Golden Flashes held a 12-7 lead at the break. It's been the definition of a tale of two halves here today in Youngstown.
Roman, you're absolutely right. How about it? Kent State 12-7 advantage in that first half. Now Youngstown State's defense, they're playing a strong game here in the second half, able to cut that in the half.
Penguins on top, 15-14. Lena Cox, 4 goals here in the fourth quarter for Youngstown State to give them this advantage. Kent State, though, will control the draw. And we've seen at times just how electric this offense can be. We've seen how quickly they can fire back.
When they get the looks, they're able to capitalize on it. And winning those draw controls, that's winning easy battles. And they can be able to grab it.
Zeta Crumpton with it for the Golden Flashes. She scored 3 goals in the first quarter. She's been scoreless since. Looking to get back in the scoring column. She'll pass it off. Over to Halley. Morgan Halley working on the far side. So we approach 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Good look inside, had it jarred free. And Paige Borkowski scoops it up for Youngstown State. A critical turnover caused by Danny Emler for the Penguins.
And we talked about the turnovers. Kent State, it has been costing them a lot this season.
Last time these two teams met in the regular season a year ago was tightly contested, a brutal turnover for the Penguins to give it back. Their lone meeting last season was an 18-16 victory for Kent State in this regular season finale, which gave the Golden Flashes a share of their first ever Mid-American Conference regular season title.
And again, we're in conference play. It shows you how tough these games are. All conference games, no matter what conference you're in, are always tough, fun, exciting. It just shows you how fun the play is.
We approach 1 minute remaining here in the fourth quarter. Ball on the stick of Peyton Gellen. Foul's going to be called on Youngstown State. That's going to give Gellen an opportunity for a free position look here. So we approach 1 minute remaining in our fourth quarter. Hat trick today for Gellen. Had a career high 4 goals the last time out. She can tie a career high right here.
And for the Penguins, Borkowski, it's going to be a one-on-one, and you're really hoping that your goalie can read where it's going to go. But again, Gellen has been really great. It's going to be tough.
Gellen drives in the shot and the goal. Just under 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter, and Peyton Gellen ties a season and career high with 4 goals here today. 15 all is our scores. We take another look right here. Gellen, cool, calm, driving inside, making sure the defender's behind her back, and she puts it over the head of Borkowski to tie it up. What an exciting game we've had here today.
And for Borkowski, she put her stick up a little bit too late. She knew and anticipated it to go over her head. You saw her maybe 2 seconds later put that stick up. Again, great effort though. Tough player to go up against on free position shots.
So back at midfield once again, this draw becomes ever so serious. You can put a lot of pressure on the other team if you're able to control this draw for either side. Who's going to come up with it? And it'll be Kent State. Peyton Gellen scoops it up. Golden Flash has a chance to move ahead right here. We have a foul called on Stecker of the Penguins. That's going to be huge. She's going to have to check out now. That's a green card, so Youngstown State's going to be without arguably their top defender here for the final minute of regulation.
And Romo, I saw that up here. I was thinking to myself, why would you hit the stick just a little bit too far? Because, again, they will call that 99% of the time, very blatant. But, again, this gives Kent State a very big opportunity. And when these opportunities come on green cards, they take advantage of it.
Kent State playing a woman up now. Tied it up with 57 seconds remaining in regulation, a chance to move ahead. Down to 30 seconds. Good cut inside, Wolford, shot and a goal! Jackie Wolford puts Kent State ahead with 26 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Wolford, her 5th goal of the day. And the reigning Mid-American Conference Offensive Player of the Year puts the Golden Flashes ahead.
Well, Romo, we knew that Wolford, it doesn't matter, left too much time on the board because, again, Wolford, she has been in these positions and she can get it done, and she did. But how about Riley Floyd? We've talked about her a lot in this game. She has great visuals. You can see it, she read it, and it fit it right in there for Jackie Wolford. Great play. It's really tough to beat her in those positions, especially off the back pedal.
4 goals from Youngstown State after trailing by 3 heading into the fourth quarter gave the Penguins a 15-14 lead. But 2 goals from Kent State and a draw control right there puts them in a very good position to sneak out of Youngstown with the victory.
We can see Youngstown State's really trying to force a turnover here, grab it and go the other way.
Under 10 seconds remaining now in the fourth quarter. All you got to do is keep it away from the Penguins, and Kent State will do so. The Golden Flashes, an exhilarating first conference win of the season. The preseason champs in the conference, able to keep Youngstown State winless on the season with a 16-15 victory here on the road. Jackie Wolford, 5 goals here today, and the game winner for Kent State. Youngstown State will drop to 0-8 on the season, 0-1 in MAC play. Kent State will move to 4-6 overall and 1-0 in Mid-American Conference play. Any final thoughts, John?
Well, for Kent State, that was not an easy victory, being able to come in to Youngstown State, just have them fight back offensively, and that last second, that last goal really was the dagger, and just Wolford putting this team on her back. A great assist by Riley Floyd. And again, Kent State, they don't back down. And we've seen it a lot against Longwood, where they were in the same position as they were today. And again, they're able to keep calm, fight back against adversity, and they got it done here. Great first conference win for the Golden Flashes.
Kent State, your winner, 16-15 today. That'll do it. Here from the Covelli Sports Complex, Youngstown State will be back on the road next time out when they face off with Lindenwood this upcoming week on March 20th. A 1 o'clock start in that one. Kent State will return home as they host Pitt on Tuesday, a 4 o'clock start at Dick's Stadium. For John Ostapowitz, I'm Anthony Ramos signing off here from Youngstown State.